These will be practice problems that go along with using unit conversions part 2 of the previous lesson. And we did this problem together on that lesson. Now, if you're following along with me on your packet, you should be on page 65. Please circle the numbers 5, 6, and 7 on page 65. Then flip it over and go to page 67. And circle 4 and 5. These are the numbers we're going to work on. And I would like for you to take your packet and cross off, scribble, scribble, scribble out their work on 5, the first one on 5. And the same thing on 6 and 7, because we're just not going to do ours that way. You don't even need to read their directions. Now, we're going to do the 5, 6, and 7, this one going down. So you'll have those to look back on. Get your notebook out and let's get started. So you have 21 inches equals blank, and you want to simplify this. It says simplify each length. Notice the difference in the language. Simplify means to rework it, to put it in a different format. So we are not converting. Even though I know I have it under unit conversions, we're not converting. We're simplifying each length. Well, okay, look at the ruler. This makes it really easy. If you have 21 inches, right? Well, then how many feet do you have? Because you went over the 12 mark. So you have 1 foot, and how many inches left over? Well, you count all that up or you subtract. That's 9, so that's 1 foot 9 inches. But we need to be able to do that using our math. Now, use your formula sheet, still use your formula sheet, but you're going to be looking on the right side. So you go find inches on the right side, like the smaller, inches is smaller than feet, and feet is smaller than yards. So we're looking on the right side because that's the smaller category to make the bigger one on the left. So what is our number there for inches? It's 12. So once you go over 12, you're now into feet. Is this over 12? Yes, it's too big. When I say over, I mean, is it above the number 12? Is it larger than the number 12? So yes. Now what I like to do is I write my problem down, so write this on your notebook, but then I go ahead and put it like an improper fraction. And then I want to come over here, over to the side. This is your working space on your notebook. So come off over to the side and do your old-fashioned division. Now, if you don't know your facts, remember to get your calculator out. By the way, guys, just order one of these on Amazon, okay? They're $15. 21 goes in the calculator first, divided by 12. Oops. Ignore the decimal, and it's going to give you your whole number is what you're going to put on the top. That goes 1 time. Then you can just do this on the calculator. 1 times 12. Just punch it in if you don't know it. Then you're going to subtract. If you don't know it, you're going to subtract 21 minus 12 on the calculator. Now, the number that you get as the whole number is going to be your next larger unit. Get that sheet out. What's the next larger from? Going from inches, what's the next larger? It's feet. So that's going to be 1 foot. The remainder stays in inches is what you had in the problem. So our answer is 1 foot 9 inches. So this is not really a conversion, okay? This is a simplifying problem. Now look at number 6 on your packet. We're using different units. 7 feet equals what? In other words, how could we write that in a more simplified version? Now, do you recall that 3 feet make 1 yard? Here's a yardstick. 3 feet make 1 yard. So you can see that 7 feet should be in yards and then some feet. Now, if you go to your formula sheet, look on the right side, find feet. 3 feet equals 1 yard, right? So for 7, 7 is larger than the number 3, so that meant you went over. So I put it over the 3 feet because we want to simplify that. I come over to the side and I do my old-fashioned division. This goes underneath the sign, so it's bottom into top. So remember, you read this, 7 divided by 3, 7 divided by 3. So 3 goes into 7. How many times? You can do it on your calculator, 2 times. Then you have to multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. Then you have to subtract. So that 2 is not in feet anymore. It's in what? It's in yards. So you could get 2 whole yards out of 7 feet, and have how many feet left over? 1 foot. So that becomes 2 yards, 1 foot. All right, I hope you're following that. Now we're going to do number 7 on the packet, page 65. You've got 1,900 yards. Don't write your comma. We're not going to ever write comma on our paper. Equals what? Like, how do we simplify that? Okay, well, that's a crazy big number, and we don't like big numbers. But if you'll recall in your previous video, I had you write some stuff in on your formula sheet. So there's yards, and the next biggest unit is miles. Hopefully you can see that. So is 1,900 larger than that 1,760 from the formula sheet? Yes, it is. So that's 1,760 yards. Now notice your units have to be the same here. This is not the same as proportion. It's like an improper fraction. So now you come off to the side and do the big, terrible looking, looks like a terrible problem, but it's really not, because look, 17 goes into 19 how many times? Once. Okay, so you know that this is 1. Then when you multiply 1 times that, it just gives you 1,760. And then if you're not comfortable with that subtraction, then just do it on the calculator. And if you don't have a calculator like this, you can use your phone for right now. And so your answer is 140. Now remember, this 1 is going to go up to the next larger unit. Your next larger unit was from 1,760, went up to miles. So that's 1 mile with however many yards left over. So in 1,900 yards, you could get 1 mile out of that, but you'd have some stuff left over, so you'd have 140 yards left over. So that's an example of 3 different units here, inches, feet, and yards. And I want you to go to your packet and do these problems. And then go and watch your part 3 video of this unit.